For parents who may be struggling with a connection with their child, is there any advice in terms of how to kind of like get started with the attachment theory, how to kind of like sort of use that and apply that? Is there an easy way to do that, or is it really just deep diving into a particular book and finding out more that way?
Yeah, so I think to begin with, understanding, for me, how you see it in day-to-day life is really understanding your needs, right?
Okay, yeah. Are you talking the human needs?
Yeah, the human needs. Because you have various needs. So if you were to sit down by yourself, and if you've got triggered, you want to say, what is it that I needed in that moment that I didn't get, that got me to have that kind of reaction, right? So once you understand it, then you say, like some people, they want connection, they want to be touched. And sometimes to feel that connection, they trigger an argument, right? So they trigger an argument, and when they get that argument, they're getting a connection, but it's not a healthy connection.
It's a learned negative behaviour, isn't
exactly.
it? And love and connection is one of the 6 human needs, isn't it?
Exactly.
So that's what we're craving.
Yeah. So you sit down and you say, okay, say it already happened. It happened, right? So you say, okay, well, I got triggered. What is it that I needed at the moment? So I needed to talk, right? I needed to express myself. So what is it that I needed to express? I needed I needed a touch, or I needed for my son to listen to me. But then you're very good at dealing with teenagers. So, how do teenagers react, and what sort of needs do they have, and what sort of needs do the parents have? Yeah. And what sort of middle ground can be achieved between the two parties? Mm-hmm. So there's a sort of internal debate, internal argument that goes on to say, okay, well, my child has that particular needs and I have that particular needs. Can we agree that, and literally talking to the child, and that in that way as well, getting the child to understand their needs. What is it that they need, right? Because I think for many of us, and I love being known as a need lady, because I think we don't know our needs. With the number of clients I've worked with, we don't know our needs. And if you don't know, we can't express them. We can't express them.
Sorry, Ro. And self-awareness is such a powerful tool to work on. And it's one of the areas that I teach. It's the first area that I teach in my framework with parents, is self-awareness. Because if we're not self-aware of us, of our emotions, we can't be aware of our child's emotions. Because in order to understand you, I have to understand me first. So that's really powerful. And I think this is a great introduction for parents to really kind of like have a look at their parenting and where they are now, particularly those that are struggling for connection, and really having a think about their approach and their parenting approach. And I guess what category in terms of the type of parents that they're parenting with. So can you just give us an overview again of those areas of the different parents? Just to rejig their minds.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we have the secure attachment, parent, right? So, and then we have the anxious, preoccupied parent who's always worrying about stuff. Yeah. And then we have the dismissive, avoidant parent who just walk out of the door and can't be bothered with things when things get too much and they don't know how to regulate. So knowing how to regulate emotions is important. And then the last one is fearful avoidant, where they want connection and then they want to be dismissive. At the same time, they want to avoid the relationship. So it's very tricky, this one. It's as if you're walking on eggshell because you don't know what to expect. Because one minute you're having this, the next minute you're having something else. So you kind of don't know. Yeah.
And would you say that the last parenting, the parenting approach, I guess you can call it, do you think that is the most significant one in terms of needing to shift? Because that would be very confusing for a child to have a parent that is kind of there, then not.
Yeah. I think with this, I agree because it is very confusing. But I want also, whilst we're touching on that, but I want also to make people understand, your audience understand that we can shift our attachment style at any point in our lives, right? Yeah. We are not doom and gloom. Like for me, like I've been dismissive, but I'm a lot more secure than dismissive. And I love that. And I love that, and it's very difficult, I have to say, for dismissive avoidant to shift, because a lot of the time they don't know how to do it. They don't have a coping mechanism how to do it. But when it comes to FA, I call them FA, fearful avoidant. When it comes to FA, it's seeking the help. Because they are confused themselves, right? They've been as a confused child growing up, being confused, or even those who, those people who in their teens or early 20s or even 30s have gone through terrible abuse, mental, psychological, and even physical, right? So there's a tendency to really wanting that connection, and at the same time saying, my gosh, I don't feel safe here. Right? I need to protect myself because it's not, I don't know what to expect. So I think it's vital for all of us to do an audit. Where do I see myself? What is it that I need to change? Because I truly believe, and I'm very holistic and very spiritual in my approach, I truly believe that children are here to teach us lesson and also to learn from us. So we, as adults, we have a duty to give ourselves that love, and we then decide, we have a choice: do we evolve or do we stay stuck?